YouTube? This is Justin, aka Demonic Sweaters, here with an Audacity. Well, it's kind of an experiment, actually. I have no idea if this is actually going to work or if this is even possible because I've never actually tried it. But what I'm going to attempt to do today is create an entire song, or when I say entire song, something song-esque in Audacity using only the built-in tools of Audacity. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to use any samples or any instruments or anything like that. Now Audacity, you may be asking yourself, well, how are you going to do that? Because Audacity doesn't have the ability to use any VSTs or anything like that, but it does have some sound generation tools, and you can create a click track and create waveforms and things like that. So what I'm going to attempt to do is create some kind of beat and then some tones, almost like an ambient type thing over top of the beat is what I'm thinking may be possible. But I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do. So let's see here. First off, let me just show you what version of Audacity I'm on, which is 2.2.2, and I'm using Ubuntu 19.04 with KDE Plasma Desktop. So anyway, okay, so the first thing I want to do is create a click track. So to do that, we can just go in here and go to Generate and go to Rhythm Track. And then, just for simplicity's sake, let's keep it at 120 beats per minute, BPM. And then number of measures, let's do, I don't know, let's say 96. Oops. All right, and then just click OK, and now I have a metronome. And so once I do this, I can actually create a label track, which I've talked about this in the past, and this is basically a way that you can create almost a grid within Audacity. It's not exactly a grid, but it works sort of like a grid. All right, so after we created our click track, the next thing I'm going to want to do is actually highlight the click track to make sure it's all selected, and then I'm going to go to Analyze, and then go to Beat Finder, and then I'm just going to click OK. Now what this does, and I've talked about this in previous videos, is this creates a label track, and as you can see, if you zoom in here, the label track is there. That's basically puts a label by all the clicks, and it's a little bit offset because of my latency, and I can fix that. Actually, let me go in here and just zoom in all the way. Then I'm just gonna highlight this and delete that, so now it's a lot closer to being on time. If I had done my latency compensation already, then that wouldn't have happened, but I didn't do that yet on this installation of Audacity. So you can just ignore that if you like, if yours is set up correctly. But anyway, what this does is it creates basically a grid. So if I want to create parts, I can snap, I can use these labels to snap selections if I want to copy and paste things like that, so I know they'll be exactly on time. So anyway, okay, so we have a click track. Let's play this back. And let me just zoom out a little bit. That's too far. Okay, and now I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's see. Maybe I'll create some kind of a kick drum. So in order to do that, I would create a new track here first, I think. Let's go to mono track and then just select the first grid marker there. And now I'm going to go to Generate, and let's go to Tone. And this is I'm going to leave it as a sine wave, but I'm going to change the pitch down to, I don't know, let's say 180, somewhere around there, or maybe that's too high. How about 120? Amplitude is good. Duration, that's way too long. I just want it to be, actually wait, let me cancel that. I think I can do it like this. If I just highlight the area, I think that'll select the correct duration that I want to make it. So let me try this again. We'll go to Generate and Tone, and yeah, so it if you highlight the area, it'll do that. So let's just click OK. And now let me zoom in so we can see what we just made. And right now I have this sine wave here, so let's hear that. All right. Pretty good. Now let's do a fade out on it. Now let's do it a little bit quicker than that. So let's go to effect, and we'll go to fade out. Rewind back to the beginning. All right, not bad, but I want it to be, well, actually, no, I kind of like that. Let's just leave it like that. So that's our kick drum, just to be simple. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to highlight this, Control C for copy, and I'm going to start pasting this on every other one or so. And I think once I get 4, then what I can do, I mean, you can do this at any moment, but what I want to do is highlight that all, and then I'm going to go to Edit and Duplicate. Is it Duplicate or is there a Repeat? I think there's a Repeat. Well, let's try this first, see what happens. No, that's not it. So is that under Effect? Repeat, yeah. So under Effect, we can go to Repeat. And then let's do this number of repeats to add. Let's just say, I don't know, 16? Or 15, so it's an even number, because we already have 1. And that did something a little bit weird. Okay, I see why. So I want to highlight this a little bit differently. I want to do it like up to where the next one should start. So let me highlight that, and now go to repeat. Repeat, repeat. Let's see if that'll work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now let's play this back and see what kind of beat we have. All right, sounds like it's on time. Now we have a basic beat going on there. And let me just go ahead and save this so I don't lose it. And figure out where I'm going to put this. Let's go in my recordings folder. And then I have an Audacity folder in here somewhere. There it is. So let's call it Pure Audacity. Okay. So let me just zoom out. I'm just curious how long this actually is. Okay, so it went about that far. What is that? A little over a minute. I think that's good for now. Well, you know what I could do, actually. Let's zoom in a little bit. And if I were to select this the correct way, from here all the way to the beginning, I can repeat this. Let's just go to repeat, repeat. And now let's see how many I have. All right, so more than enough now. So I can go ahead and let's delete this end here. Go back and zoom in some. And I don't know if you guys are even finding this interesting, but I am, because it's, you know, I was just sitting, I was actually laying in bed, and I was like, what can I do? Like, what's a unique video I can do? And then I was like, I wonder if you can make a video or a song using only Audacity. And I think you can. So we're gonna keep doing it. I don't know why I feel like Bob Ross right now for some reason. The way I said it, I think you can. Let's go put a happy little waveform here. All right, let's delete this. Okay, so now we've got our kick drum track. And it's not like a very complicated thing or anything, but that's fine. That works for me. Okay, so our click track, you know, that could actually be part of the beat. Let's mess with that a little bit. It doesn't have to sound totally like a click, so let's just save this again. Because we already have the grid, we really don't need the click there. So let's go ahead and go to Effect, and let's see what we can do to this thing. Let's do like a, I don't know. Let's see what we have here. Now I need to remove some plugins here. Now, this may make Audacity crash. Hopefully it doesn't. Am I saved? So let me go ahead to New. I'm just going to select all, and then Enable. Click OK. Hopefully we don't crash. And yes, it did. Oh, not yet. It's okay if some fail to register. I just don't want it to crash on me because then, well, it should be alright, even if it does crash. If this takes like a ridiculously long amount of time, then I'll just skip forward in the video. And I have quite a few plugins installed, as you can see. And Audacity, it doesn't automatically load all of them when you install it in Linux anymore. I guess because like it was having crashing issues. And so you basically have to add them in manually the way I'm doing it right now if you want to get all your plugins seen within Audacity. And did it just crash? Yeah, I think it did. Yep. So, it did crash. I'm going to have to get out of here somehow. It's frozen, it looks like. Alright, let's start this over. But even if it crashed, there should be a few more in there that was in there, not in there before. So let's go to recent files, and there's nothing there. That's weird. Let's go back into our Audacity folder. Where is it? That's the... There it is. Okay, so let's go back to our effects and see if we have anything new here. And no, we don't. That's annoying. Okay, I'm just going to add some manually that I want. So let's see. We can do... Let's go into all new. Let's see what we can do here. CAF, I know, tends to have a problem sometimes with Audacity, so and the Carla doesn't look like it's gonna work at all, but Crusher, that actually CAF stuff, will that work? Sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself. Oh, the MDA ones, those should all work, so let's just install all of those because there are some pretty cool ones in there. Enable. Let's do the most of the LED SPAs should work. And the SWH plugin should work. Carla probably won't. Caps should all work. So let's enable those. Now, I don't think the LXVST plugins will work, so I'm going to skip over those. And let's just try what I have so far. That should be enough. Alright, so I was able to get some installed. And let's see what we've got. Okay, so we have quite a bit more in here now. Okay, so the one I want to try for the click track there is this one called MDA. Where is it? It's not here. Alright, well, let's try something else. There's one that's like a drum. What's it called? MDA Beatbox. Why is it not there? That's weird. Did I just not see it? Yeah, it's not there. Is it just under Beatbox? No. Okay, well, let me try to install that again. I really want to find that one. So let's go to new again. Oh, there it is. I just saw it. There it is. Okay, so let's install that. And let me just do by path here. And then I can install all of the ones by the same developer. So all the tap plugins should work. Okay, so now I think I have a lot more installed. Let's just see. Yeah, so I have tons of plugins now. And the one I wanted to try, I don't know if it's going to work, is if we go here and highlight our click track, let's go to effect and let's find beatbox in here, which may be under MDA beatbox. Yep, there it is. All right, so this one is a little bit funky. You can actually turn signals into hi-hats, kick drums, and all kinds of stuff. So let's start playing back. Now it seems like it's working for the hi-hat. Snare, let's see what we can do here. Snare trigger. There we go. Okay, so again, this is very simple sounding beat. I mean, I'm not going for anything complex here, but let's just hear. For some reason, it didn't work in the beginning there, but it looks like it kicks in a little bit later on, which is fine. Okay, so on this bass drum, I want to bring that pitch down a little bit. So let's go in here and let's go to change pitch. And this doesn't change the tempo. So let's just use percent change and let's hear some of this. All right, that sounds a little bit closer to a bass drum to me. So let's click OK there. Why it's taken so long. Hopefully it didn't crash. Boy, those last 2 seconds are really taking a while. Come on. I hope you don't mind. I went to get a snack. And I may not talk through some of this. This video is kind of an experiment, to say the least. So I might just mess around with stuff. And if you guys want to watch it, you can. If not, I don't blame you. But I'll probably talk a little bit here when I can. But I'm also going to eat. So here we go. All right, let's name some of these. So this is kick. And this is hi-hat. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but what's pretty cool about Audacity, if we go in here and we look at our mixer now, a lot of people don't even know it has a mixer, but what's pretty cool is, like, well, it didn't work for hi-hat, but you'll see here on a kick drum, there's actually a photo of a kick drum now. Audacity's smart enough to figure that out, but we'll get into that a little bit later, because now I want to add some kind of other tone in here. So let's go to generate, and I don't know, let's go back to tone. Oh yeah, I forgot to select my region. Cancel this. Create a track too. I have to do that first. And actually, let's make this some stereo. Stereo track, and zoom in some. How long we want to make this? All right, let's do it 8 beats there. It's weird. Why is it not snapping to the one I want to snap it to? Zoom in. Anyway, good enough. Okay, so let's go to generate, tone. And this one, let's do like a, I don't know, sawtooth? Sure. I'm going to make this one 220 hertz. Okay. And as you can hear, that sounds absolutely terrible right now, but that's okay. Because we're not done with it yet. So first off, I'm going to make a very slow fade in on it. Okay. All right. And let's delete that. Go back. Okay. Now I'm actually going to duplicate this track. Save this. And this one I'm going to pitch shift a little bit. And I don't know how much, but let's go, I don't know, a fifth. So let's put this to 5. See how this sounds? All right, sound a little bit better. So let's take these two tracks and I'm going to combine them. So let's go to mix and render. Now it combines those to one track. All right, so that's pretty cool. Now let's take that and, well, let me hear that again. Let's take that, copy it, paste it right here. Why didn't I copy? Copy. And paste it right there. And now let's pitch shift this one. Let's go down a fifth this time. All right. So this is actually kind of starting to sound like some sort of music. Let me put my head up here. Copy this one. And let's put it over here. And then we're going to pitch shift this one. Let's do this one up a third. All right, let's go back to the beginning. Okay. Go back. Need one more to get a full chord progression there. Da, 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 da. So let's copy this one again. Number 2. Paste that there. Then let's go to change pitch again. And this time I'm going to go down. Let's see. -2. Rewind. Okay. So now we have a chord progression. So let's copy this whole thing. Now let's go to repeat. And just leave that at, well, let's do 30, 31. I'm not doing any changes. It's going to be the same thing over and over again. Because I'm not going to do anything that complicated here. Let's save it. Make sure we're good. Let's rewind. This one's also a bit loud. So I'm going to go in here and go to amplify. Let's just bring this down a little bit. So that's going to bring down that whole track. We can always change this later. I could have used the mixer too, but I didn't. Okay, not bad. So, before we get into, let me move my, I like to keep my label track down on the bottom, or my grid rather. Well, it is a label track, but it's working as a grid. I'm just going to get rid of this. We don't really need it. I'm eating anyways, which is pretty rude. But, okay, so, let's see. Now let's make some kind of a bass. I don't really know if this is going to work, but I'll try it. I know what I can do. So what I can do is actually take part of this first wave. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to put it down here. Add new stereo track. Okay, and I'm going to put that here at the beginning. And what I'm going to do is actually transpose that. Well, first off, I'm going to reverse it because I want it to kind of fade the opposite direction. So let's go to reverse. Okay. And now I'm going to go back to my change pitch. I'm going to do this -12. Go down a full octave. And I'm actually going to repeat that. I'm going to go down another octave. Okay. This may sound like crap, but I'm going to try it anyway. So let's go ahead. Let's repeat this. Okay, so yeah, it does sound like crap because the key change isn't there. Ideally, I should have done the bass track at the same time. That way I could have done all the pitch changes together. It would have been a lot easier. But let me just undo this. And in fact, I'm going to undo all of those. I'm not going to do a bass track, but you could. I'm just going to leave it without one. What I'm going to do instead is actually start adding some effects. So, first let's put something on this hi-hat. Oops. First I want to do, let's just do a compressor. And then let's do like, I don't know, like a chorus or something. Or a phaser. Phaser might be cool. Let's try that. And that's now ridiculously loud, but we can fix that. Let's just go to amplify. That'll put that down to the correct level. And on my bass drum, let's do some reverb. Good enough. Alright, so it is starting to sound like something. It's pretty boring, but we can make it a little more interesting with some more effects. So let's go ahead and select our synth channel there. Oh, I forgot to name that one. And let's put some reverb on this one too. But I want to use a different one. Let's go to one of these. I really like the tap reverberator. Where is it? That tap fractal doubler is cool too. Let's try that. This is way too loud now, so let's fix that. All right, so another thing that I might try here is Audacity does this thing called duck, which is it sounds a lot like a or auto duck rather. It sounds a lot like a sidechain compressor if you do it correctly. Okay, so I need to do the control track below the main track. So let's go ahead and move this track up. And what I mean by that is this bass drum, this track is going to duck when the bass drum hits. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. So I'm going to go back here to auto duck. And let's preview it. Minimum pause 1 second. Let's change this a bit. I want it to be a little quicker. And a little bit more drastic. Now let's just see what that sounds like. I don't really know what it's going to do, or if it'll sound good. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get those controls right. That didn't really do what I expected at all. All right, let's undo that. Is it because these are all separate waveforms? Let me see. By track, let's just mix and render that so it's all together. Then let's do the same with this one. All right, let's try this again. It is still not behaving the way I think it should. It's funny, I did a tutorial on this plugin, but you'd think I'd know how to use it, but I can't really remember. Getting warmer. All right, I'm about to give up on the auto duck. Factory presets? No. Put it back to the default. Maybe that'll sound good. It's weird because it really should be reacting to that bass drum a lot more. Is the minimum pause not long enough? Or short enough? 0.2. Let's try that. Still not really doing what I think it should do. All right, let's just click OK, see what'll happen. Maybe it's the reverb messing with it. Nope, didn't really work. Okay, let's try something else. Let's try this plate reverb. I already put a reverb on that one. Let's go back to our bass drum here. Oops. All right, let's just select the whole thing. And I want to put some chorus on here, I think. How about... Phaser 2. That tap fractal doubler is pretty cool. Let's hear what this sounds like. All right, let's go ahead and apply that. Okay, so you're starting to get the idea. I mean, I could do more stuff. You could become more creative with this if you wanted to. If you felt like spending the time on it, I'm starting to not feel that way. But I just wanted to see if it could be done, and it definitely can be done. You can make music using only plugins within Audacity, given it's a little bit clunky and weird, but you can do it. And you know, let's see what else I could do to make this just a little bit more interesting sounding. Maybe put some delay on this one, on this hi-hat or something, just to give it a little more repeats. Let's see what we have here. Try MDA delay. don't forget to save. Now I can actually hear like maybe overdubbing guitar over this or something, you know, like a lead to make it kind of cool or more interesting. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, you know, that you can do this. I'll just zoom out. Wow, I have a lot of synth there at the end. Let's just get rid of all that. Delete. Okay, now let's do a fade in. Long fade in. And a long fade out. Sure, I got a little bit of stuff at the end of this one. I zoom in. Okay, I have an idea of something else that we can do. And first off, let me fix the volume of that one. And what I'm going to do is actually duplicate that track again. Where was that again? Oh yeah, right here. And this one, I'm going to do a very long fade in. Maybe that's too long. More like about right there. Effect, fade in. Now let's select the whole thing again. Let's go to Effect. And what was I thinking? Oh yeah, change pitch. And let's make it up a seventh. Oh, did that do -7? Yeah, either way it should work. Okay, so now let's go into our tracks here, or view rather, and do the mixer, and let's pan these left and right. Okay, so let's hear this. Alright, so you're hearing the other tracks start to fade in now. I'll post this full track down below to download too if you guys want for some reason. Actually, let's go ahead and make this one a little weirder too. Let's put some echo on there. I'll just leave it the default. Not even listening to it. And then let's also do some, if it's in here, there's one called Decimator. No, it's not there. I should have something. Oh, wait, is it MDA dither? No. Detune? No. Degrade. Let's see if that is what I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay, let's apply that. Now let's just sort of jump ahead here, so hear what the middle sounds like. Well, that's actually starting to sound kind of cool. You know, I've heard worse. You know, if you like this kind of ambient experimental type stuff, it's not bad, actually. I'm sure if, you know, you messed around, you could probably do some stuff that's pretty cool. And you'll definitely think outside of the box and be way more, you know, what's the word? Well, creative, but, you know, when you have minimal resources, you know, you're sort of forced to do things that you wouldn't normally do. So that's what's kind of cool about it. It makes you experiment a little bit more. All right, let's just select everything. I want to normalize all my tracks. And yeah, this is a very long video, and if you stuck with it, good for you. Those panned quite so drastically. You know, of course, you could always do things, you know, you don't have to do the entire effects on the entire song the way I did. You could always like do something halfway through, like on this hi-hat. I can go in here and put an effect here. I don't know what. Just pick something. Mono phaser. We already have a phaser on there, but might be interesting. What is this ambience? Let's see what that does. It's like a reverb, maybe. All right, good enough. Let's apply that. Then normalize that section. Why is it not letting me select it? Oh, it is. It just looked grayed out for some reason. Okay. All right, sounds cool to me. Let's go ahead and mix it. So let's go to export as MP3. Normally I would do a wave, but this is just for fun. And where are my mixes? 2019. And good enough. We'll just leave it right there. Save. Okay. Don't know. All right, then we just click OK. Now it's exporting everything as MP3. And like I said, I'll post a link down below for you guys to download that if you want. And that's that. So let's find that track in here. Let me close this. Save it. Where is it? Thought I put it in here. No? Oh, there it is. Pure Audacity. So let's listen. All right, so there you have it. You can create an entire song or song-like thing in Audacity using nothing but Audacity. No instruments, no plugins, but no VSTs, nothing like that. Just using the sound generation tools and effects within Audacity, you can actually create something that's somewhat musical. And let me just play back a little bit, and as I do that, be sure to subscribe, guys, if you haven't already, and click thumbs up. That always helps me out, and on any links that I post down below or above. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Have a great day.